Macbooks never get viruses. Now, how true is this claim? It all started with this guy. Yes. For those of you who have been on the channel for quite a longer period of time, you know that he hosts Tech Talk Ultra, where he does street interviews or quizzes to know the views of people on everyday tech. Now, one very fateful evening, we were debating between Windows laptops and Apple Macbooks, which are the best. And one very interesting point he raised was the fact that Macbooks never get viruses. I was like, wait a minute, which laptops doesn't get viruses? Now, this was a completely new information to me, so I decided to do my own investigation and not just believe what somebody says because he or she uses an iPhone. And I'm back with the findings, and trust me, there are a whole lot of interesting facts you will learn in this video. So let's get right into it. Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to this channel. If you're a subscriber already, thank you very much for always coming back to watch our content. If you're a new person, do well to subscribe and stick around. Put out some post notifications so that whenever we post new content, you would be notified. So let's get back to business. Now, Macbooks don't get viruses. Now, I decided to research into this particular topics, and there are some interesting facts you would know. Now, to be able to answer this correctly, let's go back in time and talk about the early development stages of the technology we use today. Now, back in the day where computers were now being introduced in the system, there were more Windows machines than there were Macbooks. So the total population or the total number of Windows machines that were available for people to use or that were being used by the public was so much than the number of Macbooks. So this is what the hackers did. Since Windows had the more populous users, they then just decided that let's just focus on where the target market is, because MacBook, they don't really have much user base, and so let's just focus on Windows, because I mean they didn't find it worth it of attacking the MacBooks. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. It wasn't just because MacBooks had very small user base and Windows had a very large user base. Now let's picture it also in this way. Let's say we are in a school. Now the MacBook was like the special kid, the unique kid who was just onboarded by everyone else's problems. And then the Windows, I mean, ordinary, we are all facing the same challenges. So due to those factors, hackers were not really interested in hacking into these machines because obviously not so many people are using it, and so to go and learn about the whole MacBook or Apple ecosystem to later come and hack it, where there is a ready population of millions of people who are using these Windows devices and we can just learn and hack into it. It made more sense for hackers to be hacking into Windows devices than MacBooks. And it was just until recently where population grew and people started using this MacBook devices where hackers got interested in. Now, let's use scenario number 2. Let's say the MacBook is just like living in a well-gated estate, a well-fenced community with very tight security. Now, even though you live here, you don't just open your doors because, I mean, there is securities and there are all these security measures put in place. You still have to lock your doors each and every day. Plus, the Windows users, we know ourselves that we can be infected by viruses, and so we do protect ourselves. Now, if your MacBook really gets infected with viruses, it is very difficult to actually take out those viruses, and so there is very strict measures. Apple has a very tight security, and so it is not easy for MacBooks to be infected with viruses, but they are not immune to viruses. So just as you live in a gated community, so you won't open your door because there is security men. There are some practices you need to follow as a MacBook user to make sure you are on the safer side. Now, when using the internet, there are some basic rules that you can also follow as a MacBook user. Do not click on unknown links. Now, it will marvel you the number of people that are falling for this. Your MacBook has been infected scam, where if you click on the link, you will definitely get infected. So make sure you do not click on any suspicious links. Also make sure that you do not download things from third-party softwares or third-party websites. I'm not saying it is a bad practice, but Apple has its own store. That is the Apple store for downloading stuff. And so if you want to download stuff, just stick to the Apple store, because downloading from these third-party websites might expose you to some of these viruses and malware and phishing attacks, which might get your machine later infected. Also, remember to back up your data and get a good antivirus. Yes, get a good antivirus and protect yourself from viruses, malware, phishing attacks. And yes, back to the question, do MacBooks never get infected? Now, you know that even though it is very difficult, or it will take quite a time for MacBooks to get infected with viruses, they are not immune to viruses and other computer related infections. So do well to protect your MacBook. This is a technique that has been busted. Now, if you want more of these videos, or if you learned something, let me know your views in the comment section. Also, remember to like this video, give us a thumbs up so that the YouTube algorithm will keep recommending this video to other audience as well. If you've not still subscribed, kindly subscribe and put us on post notifications so that whenever we post new content like this, you would be notified. Now, before you leave, there is a whole video on how to set ringing tone, custom ringing tone. Use your favorite song as a ringing tone on your iPhone, and I'll leave that on the screen right here. Till we meet again, ciao.